Yeah, man.
So, Ammi The Veggieman is here on After Hours on Spice. This is not the first time I've had a conversation with him. He's famous in Kenya for doing a lot of things. You're an artist, you're also a farmer, an organic farmer, a consultant, agricultural consultant. You run a society of guys who are very passionate about organic farming. So for folks who do not know you, maybe you can tell us how you got into this whole space of organic farming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, greetings, people. My name is Ammi The Veggieman. Pleasure to be here with you again, Kev. And organic farming for me, it's one of those make sense type of things where, for me personally, shifting from growing up with my father who did conventional farming and my grandmother who was an organic farmer, for me it was almost like a calling in life that was going to take me on this journey towards not just organic farming but sustainable living and healthy lifestyle practices and so on. But what really pulled me into it was meeting the African Hebrew Israelite community, which is a group of repats of African Americans who resettled in Israel, set up a model community, and it's a prince there by the name of Prince Yadiel.
Right.
We actually call him the Prince of Agriculture.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and he was a mentor to me, and I would say I'd give a lot of credit to him in terms of the teachings that I had in organic agriculture, because from there I went out to work in organic agriculture in Ghana, and then I worked at the Ministry of Agriculture in Antigua, my country of birth, and back in Kenya I came in here because of agriculture,
right?
But the music really kept me here. If there's no music, I wouldn't have stayed.
There's a vibrant culture when it comes to music, the arts in general.
In Kenya, yes, Kenya is a lovely place for that.
Yeah. And how did you get the name Veggieman?
Well, the Veggieman.
Who gave you that name?
Well, actually, I made a song called The Veggieman.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
I made a song called The Veggieman.
Right.
It's a long story. I won't try to tell you the story today because I know we have limited time.
Okay.
But the song goes, "Me no want no moo, me no want no me, me no want no oink,
awesome.
Me no want no clack 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 clack, the Veggieman." So, long and short of it, I came here to Kenya,
right,
and connected with Gillard, my really good friend.
Shout out to Gillard.
Yeah, and Gillard introduced me to Giuliani, who on the first introduction I was beatboxing Giuliani, started rapping in Swahili, but Giuliani is the person who actually said, "You're not just Ammi, you are the Veggieman." So it was actually, I give that credit to Giuliani.
Shout out to Giuliani. Yeah. So you're big on of course this conversation of organic farming, and have you ever had meat? Have you ever tasted meat your whole life? Was this how's the journey been of course having veggies only, green foods? Well,
I'll first say condolences to all the family members of those animals that I ate until I was 21 years old.
Come on,
because I was not always a vegan. Up until I was 21 years old, we ate just about everything. Growing up in Antigua, y'all think y'all eat some meat in Kenya?
Oh yeah, they love their meat.
Wait till y'all see Antigua. Oh man,
okay.
Oh man, it's all over. So I grew up in Antigua. It's and it's a very vibrant culture there, but it's a heavy carnivorous culture in Antigua as well. I mean, you have the Rastafarian brothers who I was always guided by, but then in terms of meeting the community in Israel at the time, at 21 years old,
right,
and just really kind of, and one brother started, he just threw some things at me real quick that made sense. Do you know you're the people of the Bible? He said, do you know Africans are the original? Do you know that we're naturally vegans? Do you know Bible Genesis 1:29 speaks of a vegan diet, and that's what man needed to return to. So there were those things that made sense for me.
Right.
I said, okay, all of it was making too much sense. And then we look at our intestines, you look at our teeth, everything made sense for me. That's why we are vegans,
So when you look at Kenya's history, now that you're here, of course you've done your research and that kind of thing. We have amazing soil. There are a bunch of farmers in Kenya, but we don't really have a vibrant vegan culture. Why do you think that's the case?
Well, in terms of, honestly, some of it was business. And I said the multinationals who created educational institutions worldwide who made sure everyone ate a particular diet so they would end up being consumers in the pharmacy.
Right.
So that's one. Yeah. But in Africa, and we know from the hunters and whatnot and so on and so forth, there used to be some level of carnivorism, if I say it like that.
Correct.
But carnivorism was multiplied and really marketed well, especially with the fast food industry. But it kept people sick. So then you look at people being in this position that you're constantly having to get something from the pharmacy. So it works hand in hand. And that's part and parcel of why you find so many people today, not just in Kenya, but in different parts of the world, who are on heavy carnivorous diets because the educational institution said that you need to have this type of protein.
Right.
And that was well marketed, well infused and with culture and everything. So now where people used to be consume a little bit of meat, they think, no, I got some money, I'm going to consume a lot. Then you have the people in the villages who eating a little bit of meat, living much longer than the people in the cities who are eating a lot of meat.
Isn't it amazing? Like when you put it like that, it makes a lot of sense, right? The system is the one that dictates that lifestyle.
Yeah.
But what are some of the misconceptions about organic produce that you've encountered in Kenya?
Well, one, I would just for clarity, I would say guys think organic and veganism is one, but they're actually not, because veganism means that you eat a plant-based diet.
Right.
Now, organic in terms of organic agriculture is where you're farming food with natural fertilizers and compost, and you're using natural pests and disease control that are plant-based.
That's right.
That are not deadly. Because if I could jump in and just say, Africa's been a dumping ground for deadly chemicals. And in the commercial agriculture space, you have quite a bit of deadly chemicals being used in the industry. And these are responsible for quite a large number of the cancers and different, because most of the products are carcinogenic. And quite a number of some of the autoimmune responses people are getting are directly related to the chemicals that are being used in the agriculture space.
Yeah.
So that's one. But in terms of the misconception of like veganism now, guys mostly think if you're a vegan, you only eat salad.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, guys. Even Kenya, you're 80% vegan.
Right.
If I start naming the list of greens and the list of grains and the list of products, whether you're eating skooma, manago, duma, even matoke, ugali, all of it is vegan.
So when you talk about, because I've read about your work, I've observed some of the things that you do, the conversations that you've had online. When you talk about feeding the people while healing the earth, right? What does that look like in practice on a farm?
On a farm, it means
on your farm even.
Well, I would give you a perfect example. If you're constantly taking from something, like someone taking from you, Kev, if someone keeps coming knocking on your door and they keep taking, they never bring anything back. At a point when they start knocking, you leave me inside saying, hey, nobody's home. And that's the and this is kind of, I'll use a biblical reference when the Creator said that the earth shall not yield its increase for you because of your sins. I'm saying once again, and I always say this, conventional farming is sinful because to constantly kill the earth, to kill the soil, and just constantly take from it and never give anything back is cruel. So healing the earth simply means that you're putting your organic minerals and nutrients back into the soil. You're not just taking, you're giving back.
Yeah.
So if you take a lot of nitrogen this season, you plant some legumes, some whatever, and do some other products to put nitrogen back. So you try to replace some of what you've taken.
Yeah.
If you keep it one-sided, the earth is not going to yield its increase to you.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, fascinating the way you put it like that. So in relation to the community that you've built, and also when we talk about wellness and the mind, how does it relate? What sort of impact are you creating within your community, and in relation to wellness, body, mind, and soul?
Well, I would say this. Well, first, let me not take all that credit because I'm not like individually building a community.
Obviously.
I'm a part of a community. And what we're doing here in Kenya is that we're working and we understand our responsibility, and our responsibility from God is to be guardians. And if we're guardians of creation, it means we're supposed to protect it, preserve it, enhance it. And we do that not just for the earth, but for people. So in terms of giving people a holistic concept of life, it's not just about eating a plant-based food, because you can eat some processed stuff and eat some, whether it's pasta or some starch and stuff all day, and you not be healthy. Calling yourself a vegan or calling yourself plant-based,
right.
or just mock chicken, mock duck, mock this, mock that. That's veganism means, one, that you're eating whole foods.
Right.
You're eating plants because there are 102 minerals in the soil, and you get those 102 minerals from a plant source directly that can be assimilated into the human body through your digestive tract.
Yeah.
And likewise now, apart from just consuming, we need to exercise, we need to drink water.
Correct.
And your mind needs to be healthy. You need to have positive thoughts and thinking about your brother or your sister.
Yeah.
If I sum it up in one statement, is do unto others as you'd like them do to you. Love your brother your brother like yourself.
Yeah.
So when you think from that perspective, you're not thinking so much with hate and grudge and envy and things constantly, because those are low vibrational frequencies of thinking. And we're not just focusing just in terms of what we do agriculturally, but also what we do holistically in terms of changing the vibrational frequency of humanity. So we're working to increase people's vibration so that their thoughts go into a heavenly realm. And then we can say a real prayer like, let thy will be done in heaven, as it is on earth.
I love it. So, I mean, you know, when you're speaking, you're opening up my senses, and I'm thinking, you know, when you look at the psyche of Kenyan people, when you watch the news, I don't think you watch the news that much, but I
actually do.
You do?
I tune in, yeah. I tune in, yeah.
Yeah, okay, because the reason I made that comment about watching the news is because I know a lot of people usually think the news is very negative. People say the psyche of Kenyans is very, I don't want to say hopeless, but it's very negative. You know, we have a lot of negative energy right now. There's a sense of apathy. It's very political and that kind of thing. And so how important is it for us to have a holistic approach when we are working on ourselves, when we are purifying our minds and our souls and our bodies? And is it really possible? I know it starts even with the food that we eat, how we go about the farming, the social dynamics, how we engage with people around. From your experience when you're engaging with Kenyans, how would you define the psyche of Kenyan people?
Well, it varies. It varies because first of all, coming in first as an outsider coming in, all I see is love and the hospitality, whether it's Kikuyu, Masai, Kamba, Luo, Luya, whoever. The hospitality is like top level, like among the best in the world.
That's what they say, yeah.
It's true. Kenyans are... I mean, they're welcome.
We're amazing people.
Yeah, y'all welcome me home. Like, I feel like, okay, I'm home. You don't want to go anywhere else. If you ask me about the psyche, I say some of the psyche, if you talk about any psychological issue, I think it mostly happens on the roads when people drive.
Oh, there's so much rage.
Man, road rage is madness. I said, okay, this cannot be the same people who are so loving and welcome me home and cook me ugali and all that. Kill each other on the road. You know, but in terms of, I don't think what you're dealing with in terms of the social dynamic is unique to Kenya, but even some of the political dynamics is not unique to Kenya. I say the entire earth is going through a shift. If you look at the news, look at the news, whether it's in Israel, in the US, in France, you look around the world and you see there's a lot of social political tension globally. So that's not unique to just Kenya.
It's not unique to Kenya.
No, it's not a Kenyan story. And because many times guys can pick out a particular group of people and make them feel so bad, like you're the only ones. And so what you're experiencing in some of what you may consider some of the negative thinking is actually a reaction to what is taken, to the pressures that people are put under.
That's the word, pressures.
So people are reacting to pressure.
Yeah.
So then if you push something into a corner and then it responds, you don't necessarily say, well, you're so bad because you reacted like this.
Yeah.
So then we have to take a holistic look at everything. And I say holistic look in terms of even the concept of life that we were given.
Right.
Because Kev, we were given this concept. It's like they put you in a horse and beat and say go. And I say from the colonial educational system all the way up. They put you in a horse and go. So we going after his goals, his dreams, his aspirations, everything that he defined for us was success. African success was not based on the European model. And until we get back to an African model of what success look like and what social equality and so on look like, then we're it's going to constantly be it's a rotation. It's like life is rotating on the axis of a lie. Build anything in the backs of sick people. There's no national building. There's no infrastructure. There's nothing you can build in the backs of sick people.
Yeah. That's interesting. So when you look at small scale farmers, especially organic farmers, people who would like to get into this whole trend. I don't know whether trend is the right word. Are they getting enough support compared to the large scale farmers?
No, they're not. They're not getting enough support because you find the large-scale farmers, some of what we consider real toxic stuff is being subsidized and being assisted, and some of the government leaders are doing it genuinely. Not just in Kenya, but in different countries I've seen, they're genuinely trying to assist because you were told that's what good fertilizers are. The farmers need help. So you try to subsidize it, you try genuinely trying to help them, but you go back further, and some of these things are toxic. So we really need to, and then the smaller farmer, who they may consider the old school farmers and the small man, they're really in a much safer place because they have adopted or kept or maintained some of the ancient practices.
Right.
Where we say now, if you stick to the old school, some of the old school stuff, I'm saying yes, you can bring irrigation system, you can maximize the use of your land, etc., and boost the fertility. But we cannot shift away from the old parts. Because when you shift away from that, we begin to find ourselves going in other directions that are not sustainable. And we cannot go in directions where you see someone farming 10 acres of land. 5 years from now, he's looking for another plot of land. Why?
For what reason?
Exactly, because you kill the soil. He's compromised the soil so much that after putting deadly chemicals in that soil for 5 years, you're looking for you're saying, oh, this land is not good, or I waste my money in farming, or this didn't work out for me, that land is not profitable. Let's start blaming the land. But you were the one who put the chemicals in the land.
It's true.
You're the one to kill the soil.
Right.
So, but in terms of supporting the small guy now, I would say this, Kevin, I'll be real brief with it, is that I think the word organic was where the problem came in, because we're trying to label organic farmers when what Baba and Shosha did back in the villages from way back in the day, and what some of them still do, should not be labeled organic. That's just farming. I think the other stuff should be labeled toxic farming.
I like that.
If you ask me, we should label the other stuff toxic.
Exactly.
Instead of trying to force us to having to do it like this, or you have to do this to be organic. Just keep it natural.
Yeah, I wanna bounce off that statement that you just made. This whole thing for labeling organic food products, and some people, when you look at, because I've seen a couple of markets where they sell strictly organic food products. There's one in Karen, I think it's usually on Saturdays.
Yes.
Yeah, but folks usually say, you know what, it's very expensive. It's not for me. So let me just go to regular market spaces. So there's a notion that the organic food products and the lifestyle in itself is for the privileged. And
that's also a misnomer, because if you ask me, living in Kenya for as many years as I have, what they call the poor man's food and the village food is some of the healthiest food you can get in this country.
Yeah.
So, and that's mostly organic and it's mostly vegan. So then that's where I say that's the flip to it, because you have now the organic market has been able to kind of spread, and guys using it, and they mark up extra, you get a premium price for your organic products and so on. But honestly, what some of that can do, it can leave the poor man behind, because you begin to think now it's organic and it's only for the rich. When in actuality, what the poor man used to eat, what they consider the poor man's food, is actually some of the best food in the country.
Right.
So the mind has to switch in terms of, when you think of organic, you're thinking of something with this particular label.
But why is it expensive though?
So sometimes you have people who have actually let me say that in without being compromising, in Western culture, in the West, they have made healthy food, even the stuff that like brown rice, brown sugar, that costs less energy to produce, they made them more expensive. So the organic produce, they marked up the organic produce to a point that it seemed like only the rich man could reach it. And this is something that has been adopted now in Africa. When I say organic, should be for everybody. It should not have to be a higher price.
Right.
So then this whole thing about it have to be a higher price, that's a misnomer as well.
I like that. So what has organic farming taught you about yourself moving forward?
And organic farming, for one of the things I can say, and I give all praises and thanks to the Almighty when I say this without compromising, it has aligned me with my purpose. And when you live in your purpose in life, there's nothing more powerful than that. And having to plug into the organic farming space and seeing my place in it, and understanding that I was not just put here to consume oxygen and drink water and eat some food. Part of my purpose here was to be a guardian and to continue to spread the word, to inspire others, to teach others, and to push this agenda along the line where we begin to push back against the angels of death who came with this deadly stuff. We're pushing back against them. So living my purpose in this space and make an understanding that this is part of why God put me on this earth. That's what organic farming has taught me. And
we really appreciate you being in the country. Let me ask you, there's certain individuals, after a certain age, he's adding weight, you can feel like your body's lethargic, you're kind of weak, you don't feel like you're very healthy. When you get into the whole organic lifestyle, when you change your diet, can you reverse the damage on your body?
Some of it, yes, because it depends on the damage, just like the soil. After putting deadly chemicals in the soil for 50 years, you try to reverse it in 6 months. It doesn't just work like that.
Right.
Because it's been 50 years of damage.
Wow.
So likewise with the human body, we have to consider that some of the things that we've been done, some may be irreversible, but I say some things we can definitely slow down, and there's some that are actually reversible.
Right.
And you can actually begin to, just being in the habit of whether it's, for example, if you're just smoking cigarettes, or you're consuming a lot of oils, a lot of sugar, eating a lot of meat, drinking heavy liquor, and you're in a constant cycle of that, you're going to see some significant deterioration. But the minute you stop, you begin to see your body regenerate. And you add that now, doing some real detox, cleaning your digestive tracts, and now beginning to add some real super boosters, like some, whether it's moringa, nettle, baobab, and you begin to infuse, different things into your diet that are now going to kind of super boost your cells. You're going to see a significant difference in that person in a very short period of time. But it doesn't mean that the lungs have been completely repaired. So there are different. There's some things that may be irreparable, or may have gone too far. So I can't give you a blanket response to that. It has to be based on what the person has done to themselves.
Beautiful explanation. As we wrap up, 2 final questions. You seem to be a very grounded guy. I've known you for some time. You have a very positive mental attitude. What's your day-to-day like? On a Monday, you have a feeling it's going to be a very busy week. Walk us through the process, man. What do you, how do your routines look like?
Well, I'll tell you, there's a song I recorded with Giuliani called Hot Away.
Yeah.
And in that song, the first verse, I said, "Ma wake up early, praise the Almighty, take deep breaths, run till me sweaty, food when me eat, regenerate my body, so focused, the devil can't distract me, positive people when me keep me around me, cup running over, blessings flowing daily, so we live good, things up to the max." So that song actually says it, waking up early and meditating, before you jump out of bed and rush into anything, before you start answering the phone, checking social media, stop, gather your thoughts. Gather your thoughts, project what you want your day to be like. And then from there, for me personally, I jump into my supplements, and I just recently launched a supplement brand as well.
Oh, awesome.
Well mentioned. But I jump in, I mix my sea moss with moringa, baobab, nettle, some molasses. Sometimes I put a little mockumberry or ginseng in it. And blend that with my with some seed like sesame seed, flaxseed, whatnot. Sweeteners, I use just some dates, but that's a supplement I take most days.
That's every day?
Almost every day.
Most days?
Yeah, days like today, I didn't have it this morning because I ran out to go to the farm in the morning pretty early.
Yeah.
But most days, you can say maybe 5 to 6 days a week.
Oh, nice.
Definitely I'm taking that. And the sea moss is 96 minerals, which is really, really powerful. And stuff like spirulina, you add a few days a week. Spirulina is 102 minerals just like us. So you making sure you take your supplements and then exercise. If you don't have the time to do some hard, heavy exercise in the morning, then in the afternoon or in the evening, even before you lay down, do something. And pace yourself. Don't try it because I feel like you need to run in it. But for me, sometimes I may only have 5 minutes because I know I have an appointment and I didn't get up as early as I should have. Then I do a sun salutation. I do some stretches. I do what the lions do. You see the lions laze around, and then they stretch, and they get up and they can chase any prey. So if we stretch, focus on stretching our bodies. If you don't do anything else, stretch.
Always stretch.
Always stretch. And another good thing is to start your day with some warm water. You can start with a little bit of lime or something, or apple cider vinegar. But you try to get yourself into a proper cycle and try to eat early. Instead of eating late night, try to eat a little early in the evening. Your last meal, be it just before, a little after sundown, and try to get your body into a...
That's my biggest problem, because I eat late, man. But I'll change. If there's one thing you would encourage a listener to plant, whatever kind of seed, whether it's an actual seed for a plant, a mindset, or a way of life, anything, something that could improve them and make them a better version of themselves, from the farm to the mind, what's this one thing they would take away from you this evening off of this conversation?
Well, if you ask me from a plant, one plant is a strong one because the moringa is the first thing that comes to mind.
I love it
because the moringa is so compact and it's so nutrient rich. But in terms of how you live your life, I would say one thing that we need to always think. Well, I mentioned it earlier, is purpose. To always think of, why did God put me here? And what is it that I do? Not just the thing, because it's one thing about the things that get you excited. Most times that's your passion, But, and many times your passion can align with your purpose. So then finding yourself in a space now that you can actually begin to, in your quiet space, to ask, why am I here? And that's the one seed I would plant. Ask the question, what did God put me here to do? And it can be something, you can't say, well, God put me in here just to have fun and drink and have a bunch of girls and run around, and go to the club every weekend. It has to be more than that. Because if I take the word God and I replace it with truth or replace it with life, you find it's all saying the same thing. So then something truth-centered, something that's life-enhancing. Truth-centered, life-enhancing that you are put on this earth to do. Think about that, and you'll be like that moringa plant, that you come with a bunch of nutrients and a bunch of minerals to give life to anything you touch.
The miracle tree. I love it.
Yeah.
Ammi, thank you so much for coming through. Give us your contact information in case somebody wants to work with you, share your story. Maybe they want, they just need answers to a lot of farming, organic questions, because you're an agricultural consultant as well.
Yes,
How can they reach out to you?
Okay, they can reach me, and my direct email is Ammi, AMMI, at organicfarmerskit.com.
Yeah.
Farmers Kits, right? I said that right? Farmers Kit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ammi, that's AMMI at organicfarmerskit.com.
And you're a trainer as well.
I train, yeah. So what we do, we've been actually, last weekend we had a group of about, I think it was about 13 Girl Scouts we had, and before that we had some guys at our center where we did a balcony garden workshop. You can grow food anywhere. So we're teaching people to grow, even if you're in the hood, you only have a small space.
Right.
We build the boxes, put some soil in it, and grow the food. So we are training. That's been the focus this season. We're doing 2 week. We have a 2 week course. We have a 2 day workshop. We have a 1 day intensive. We have the balcony garden workshop, and we're getting ready to go online. So you can reach me at Ammi at organicfarmerskit.com.
Right.
And that's AMMI.
Yeah.
That's Organic Farmers Kit. Our website for the website, it's www.organicfarmerskit.com, abiorganic.com. Did I say that right? Yeah, www.abiorganics.com. And personally, I'm on all platforms as Ammi, AMMI, VEGGIEMAN, Ammi Veggieman. That's an Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
On Facebook and YouTube, it's Ammi The Veggieman.
The Veggieman.
Veggieman.
Awesome. Have you got any new music?
Well, yeah. I got some stuff. As a matter of fact, we just finishing up and getting the studio back up where we need it to be.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have a video released recently called "Get Up and Live."
Nice.
And if you get a chance, you can share it.
Awesome.
Get Up and
I
Live.
definitely will. Yeah.
And I encourage those who want to get the regiment. Listen to that song with me and Giuliani. It's called Hathaway.
Awesome.
Yeah, like
Hathaway.